Growing up in the projects, mom smoking dope. We lived on the street. Never met my dad. I don't even know his full name. Our role models was the local neighborhood dope boy. I started hustling at 7, 8 years old.
Your story literally could be a movie.
I'm going into high school, basically hood rich, and somebody attempted to kidnap me. They said, you can get in this car, or if you leave, I'm gonna kill you. I said, y'all gonna have to kill me. I ain't going back to wherever y'all trying to take me.
That incident made you double down on the gangster life. Explain what double down meant for you at that defining moment.
From that moment on, I said, you know what? It's time for me to start riding with a pistol. It's time for me to double down. This shit real. My uncle had just came home from the feds. I can leave school and go over his house and walk into an apartment full of whatever I wanted access to. Straight from the courtroom, you going to prison, 19 years old.
Wow.
I said, oh shit. They blessed me with a care package as soon as I hit the compound. Shoes, clothes, commissary, all that. But they also blessed me with a book. And that book was called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. That book right there fucked my head up. I come home, I get 2 hard money loans. I said, shit.
Yeah.
Y'all motherfuckers about to give me $500,000 to build 2 houses. I'm still on federal probation in the halfway house.
Yeah.
The sooner that you understand that failure is a win, you're going to succeed.
All right, so welcome to Crime Pays, the #1 personal development platform for formerly incarcerated men and women and their families. We take people who used to be behind the wall and we show you how they're thriving beyond the wall. I am Ash Cash, the financial motivator.
I'm Jay White, first name, last name, the #1 federal government contracting coach and mentor.
Listen, let me tell you, when I tell you this next guest, his story like reads like a movie.
Some of the stuff he was just saying is crazy.
It's crazy, right? This brother was born into chaos, Point Dexter Village Projects, a mother battling addiction, no father in sight, and danger literally knocking on his door. By 16, he was hood rich. By 19, he was in state prison. By 25, he was in the feds. And by most statistics, he wasn't supposed to make it. He wasn't supposed to survive. He wasn't supposed to evolve. But he didn't just survive. He architected a comeback. From flipping his first property behind bars to losing over $1 million and rebuilding twice as strong, to designing and constructing a multi-million-dollar home in one of the wealthiest neighborhoods in Ohio, to going viral overnight after a racially profiling incident that could have cost him his life, to becoming a voice, a mentor, a blueprint for hustlers who want out of the game and intergenerational wealth. Family, this ain't just a story about real estate. It's a story about redemption, resilience, and rewriting your destiny. On Crime Pays today, we are welcoming the developer, the designer, the hustler turned homemaker, Mike Jenkins. What's up, brother?
Man, what's happening,
What's
man?
going on, man?
Man, listen here, man.
Yeah.
Great introduction. You couldn't have said it no better.
Let's go.
You couldn't have said it no better, man.
Yo, your story, like I said, like literally, right? So you got the new book coming out, the real estate re-up. Your story literally could be a movie. You've done a lot. You've been through a lot. Man, I'm just excited. I'm just excited for you to be here.
I mean, I'm finna get into the story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How you doing, my brother, first of all?
Man, listen here. I'm doing great.
Yeah.
I'm doing great.
I want to talk, in your introduction that my man Ash Cash did, he's talked about a viral moment. And off camera, we was kind of talking about it, right? Because you asked me did I see it, I was like, nah. And then I was like, oh, shit. I was like, wait. Wait till the cameras come on. Talk to me about that viral moment and what happened, man.
Man, I probably told this story over 30 times.
My bad, bro. 31. My fault. It's my fault. My bad. Blame me.
BET, Breakfast Club, Joe Budden.
Yeah.
CNN, Shannon Sharp, Nightcap, you name it. We've been on probably across all the biggest platforms because people wanted to hear what happened.
Yes, sir.
So what happened was regular day in the neighborhood. I'm coming home from one of my job sites, some project management because I build houses. Mm-hmm. And I pull up to the front of my house and there's a lady in my driveway with a stroller with one kid and another kid that's walking. And I asked her, you know, what is she doing? Because I'm trying to pull in my driveway. She doesn't answer. She walks to the front door. So I proceed.
your crib.
Yeah, my house.
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my house. So when she walks to the front door, I say, you know what? Maybe she talked to my wife. I got an open door policy. Kids come in and out the house all day.
Okay.
I continue to pull into the driveway. She walks to the front of the porch. She stops me from pulling in and asks me, do you live here? I said, yes, I do. She said, well, I don't think you do. So at that point, I'm like, what are you doing here?
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She said, well, I don't think you do. She drops her stroller, grabs her baby, leaves her other baby behind, jumps off the porch, runs down the side of the street, screaming at the top of her lungs for help. Calls the police. At that point, I'm paranoid because I know how this could play out.
Left one of the babies there though.
Left one of the babies there. It's all on camera.
This is crazy.
Yeah, it was a crazy situation. Now, mind you, we in one of the most wealthiest neighborhoods in Ohio. I'm an architect. A lot of people mad at me in the neighborhood because I was projecting my architectural skills when I built the house.
Yeah.
It's the nicest house in the neighborhood.
For sure.
Architectural wise, square foot wise, spec wise, all the way around the board. Corner lot, biggest lot in the neighborhood, most modern luxury house in the neighborhood, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So in my eyes, she like, well, I can't believe you live here
Yeah.
because the way you look.
Correct. There you go.
You
The
know what I'm saying?
profiling.
You don't
There
see
go.
too many people like us in this neighborhood,
Yeah.
right? So when she started screaming for help, I said, fuck.
Yeah.
I rushed in the house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I rushed in the house. The wife was in the office. She didn't even hear nothing that happened. So I told her what happened. She like, what's going on? So now we pacing back and forth. Because we know the police about to come, right?
Yeah.
And the last thing I want is the police to come while she here and she's saying that whatever she want to say about this black man that pulled up to the house. Because we know how that could turn out.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So that's pretty much what happened. She came back to pick her stroller up with her husband. My wife came outside and she basically made up this false story about somebody following her, some delusional story, and she tried to come to our house for safety. And you know, it's on camera where she said, I don't think you live here. I proceed to come out the house. Her husband knew who I was because I designed the house and built it from the ground up.
Yeah.
So when he seen me, he like, well, this who you talking about? But he was real confrontational and he just wanted to exit. He said, well, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before this go left, right? So that's pretty much what happened. The police came. I was scared to talk to police. I stayed in the house. I let my wife talk to the police. She then proceeded to go live on her social media platforms a few minutes after that to tell another false story about what happened.
This lady that
This
came
lady.
to your door went live on her platform.
100%.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
And she's an influencer, so she has a large following.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep. So, long story short, end up going to HOA from the Ring camera footage. Ended up going to the community group. It ended up getting leaked out to the public world, and you know it did over 200 million views.
Hey, look, I know you're enjoying the show, but if you're formerly incarcerated or have a family member who was and wants to learn how to thrive beyond the wall, you have to join Crime Pays Nation.
Crime Pays Academy is open right now. Click the link, then get back to the show. Hurry up.
Oh my God, yo. America, my bad. I ain't see it, but I'm finna go look at it now.
Yeah.
So it's gonna have over 201 million views. Cause I'm finna look at that joint, man.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
Take us that viral moment, right? Gift and the curse, because you're still dealing with it, the backlash and all the things there. You know, but at the same time, it did increase your visibility, if you will. And like anything, you should be able to capitalize off of things, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So we're going to talk a little bit about what you got going on right now because, you know, yes, that's a viral moment, but in my eyes, what you have built based on where you come from and your story should be more viral, right? Because, okay, yes, racial discrimination, we see that all the time. The country was built off of that, if you will. But your comeback story is like, you're not supposed to be here. You're not supposed to have the level of success that you have. And again, the things that you're doing at the level that you're doing is phenomenal. And that's one of the reasons why we wanted to have you on the show, because Crime Pays is about redemption. It's about showing our brothers and sisters behind the wall that, you know, even if you behind the wall, if you came home, that, yo, this is the beginning and you can have anything that you want. So take us there, right? You had a rough childhood. Talk a little bit about that dynamic growing up.
Where you from? Where you from?
From Ohio.
Okay, all right.
Columbus, Ohio.
All right.
Yeah. So for me, everything seems normal, right? Growing up in the projects, your mom smoking dope. She left us when we was 8 years old. We lived on the street. I never met my dad. I don't even know his full name. So, you know, growing up, our role models was the local neighborhood dope boy.
Yeah.
You know, the person with the knot in their pocket, the pretty woman, the hoes, whatever they call it, and the flashy cars. So for me, you know, I had the typical rough up and coming, but I was always somebody that was attracted to money, attracted to hustling. So I started hustling at an early age, at 7, 8 years old. I was cutting grass, I was shoveling snow, I was saving my money, and then I would witness my mom coming to steal it to go buy dope. You know what I mean? Yeah. So as eventually, I had an older cousin in my family who had a hand car wash, where I begged him to work at the car wash. I started working for him at the age of 11, 7th grade. You know what I mean? And from working at the car wash, it exposed me to every single avenue that the streets had to offer. Because everything that's going on in the streets was coming through the hand car wash.
Yeah, for sure.
And I opened it and I closed that joint at 12 years old. So by the time I was in high school, my 8th grade summer, I was working 70, 80 hours a week. And I started out, you know, selling weed, selling shoes. You know, I saved up 15, 20 grand, you know, in 8th grade. And I spent it all on clothes because I wanted to make sure I was fresh for high school.
For sure. Going through that level of maturity at that age, obviously your friends around your age, or are you hanging out with people your age, or are you hanging out with the old heads? Like, who you with?
I always hanging out with old heads.
Yeah.
Even when we got evicted from our first Section 8 apartment, my older brother and my older cousins, I remember they had a trap right around the corner, and I would beg them to come in the spot, right? Let me come in there, I'll get that bitch jumping. But they was like, nah, you too young to start hustling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was always clinging to the old heads and what they had going on, because I was always focused on money.
What was high school like for you then? Like, because think about this. I'll paint the picture, what I'm saying. You hustling, you around the old heads, you finna start 9th grade. Everybody immature in 9th grade. Everybody immature in high school, damn near. But you in a world outside of a world that most of them in high school can't relate to. So what's your high school? What is it like when you go into high school?
But high school was a movie for me.
Okay, talk to me.
So you got to think, I'm going into high school, you know, with, you know, basically hood rich.
Yeah.
I'm going to lunch. I'm buying people's lunch. I'm buying broads lunch. I'm driving as a freshman. No license.
Yeah.
We had police officer that worked there, principal. They didn't care about me driving without me having license. My homeboys was people that played varsity on the sports teams, because I had older brothers, older cousins that played on varsity as well. Yeah. So I'm a popular kid, but I'm hustling, but I'm also working. So I didn't really become a dope boy until my end years in high school.
Okay.
I was more so somebody that was working at the car wash, selling shoes, selling a little bit of weed. You know, we talking dime bags, you know, low level shit, freshman year, sophomore year.
How do you graduate to the next level, right? So if you're doing little dime bags, do you graduate to another level of selling drugs? And if you did, how did you get, like, how was that?
Well, you know what they
transition
say
up?
about marijuana. It's like the entry level,
For
right?
sure, yeah.
Whether you getting high or whether you selling it. So you get a little taste of blood and the money, and eventually, you know, y'all see it on all the shows and all that. Everybody start with weed, and eventually you get exposed to the next level of money, which consists of the next level of dealing. So eventually, I end up graduating high school at the age of 16,
Okay.
my junior year, because I had the opportunity to take my 2 senior classes my junior year. And I love school because I love females and I love the popularity that I have, right?
Yeah.
So I said, I don't want to be the typical person that drops out of high school.
But
right?
you still hustling though, right?
I'm still, as soon as I leave school, I'm going to work.
Okay, copy.
But my homeboys was skipping school.
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all lame. Why y'all ain't coming to school?
Right.
Why y'all ain't coming to the basketball games? You know what I'm saying? Y'all posted up at the corner store and y'all chasing the money during the day. I'm at school because I was a mathegician in math class. I still got honor roll.
Okay, good.
So I was still coming to honor roll breakfast.
Yeah.
So people cheated off of me in math class, but I cheated off of them in science and history.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was always intelligent. I just know I needed to, I had to feed myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So, you know, it just was the urge to want more in life.
Okay.
To want more in life is what exposed me, and then also being around the wrong people.
Look, everybody has a story and everybody wants to tell their story. But do you know how to monetize your story and create income and impact? I am Ash Cash, the financial motivator, author of over 20 books. I've sold over 250,000 books independently, and I have created a foolproof step-by-step process on how you can monetize your story. So listen, go to bookrichmastery.com, join my free masterclass where I'll teach you how to master being a storyteller, but also creating that income. Again, bookrichmastery.com, and I'll see you on the inside.
Yeah.
Was it an easy trend? Was it like, like you said, I started with the weed, I got a taste of blood, I'm gonna just go ahead on, this is the next step for me, and let me just do it big? Or are you like tiptoeing to that next step? Because like you said, you are intelligent, you were doing really well in high school. Why are you not thinking about college then? Yeah.
So, you know, I was influenced by some of the wrong OGs.
Yeah.
So for me, it was just like, it wasn't even really a transition. It was just like, oh, okay, you're doing this, well, let's do this. You got ounces, let's get pounds. You got pounds, let's get bales. You got bales, that's too bulky. Well, let's switch over to something that's, you know, less bulky but make more money.
Yeah.
It just was like all natural at that point. Because I was exposed to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There was an incident that happened during high school that was traumatic, that you could have like lost your life at 16 years old. Talk a little bit about that.
So that was my transition.
Industry schoolers to spend our money foolish. That's what he was talking about.
I knew you knew the quote.
Of course.
Yeah. You should have just said it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, the industry schooled us to spend our money foolish.
Yeah.
When he talking the industry, he talking OGs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They just wanted us to move they pack for them and to make them richer and to keep us in the game. But so it was something tragic that happened for me in high school that made me double down and wanted to be, you know, typical more gangster, right? So in high school at 16, I was living on my own in an apartment with one of my quote unquote OGs, and I pulled up to high school, and I had somebody attempted to kidnap me. I got into the car, they put the gun to my face. This is in the parking lot at Mifflin High School. Anybody can go look it up. And they said, we can do this the hard way or the easy way. They said, you can get in this car, or if you leave, I'm going to kill you. So I chose the hard way. I said, y'all going to have to kill me. I ain't going back to wherever y'all trying to take me. So I ran out the car. They stood in the parking lot, and they didn't pull the trigger. And from that moment on, I said, you know what? It's time for me to start riding with a pistol. It's time for me to double down. This shit real.
Did you know who they was?
Later on down the road, of course, it's always somebody inside that's connected to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they followed me from my apartment. You got to think, I'm 16 in high school. I got my own apartment. I'm paying my own rent, my own bills, my own car, and I'm going to school on my own accord. I don't even have to go to school. There's nobody that's holding me accountable to go to school. You know what I'm just going because I want to finish.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm going to school late every day. I get there at lunchtime. You know what I'm saying? So later on down the road, we did find out who it was. It did happen to be a family member. It did happen to be a family member whose plan was to take me back to the house to open up the safe and get whatever they thought was in it, and, you know, was to kill me so that I couldn't expose them. So that was their plan. They end up getting into a shootout with the police and end up getting killed by the police. For me, I end up living my life.
For sure, and still living.
Yeah.
And still living your life, for sure. So that incident made you double down on a gangster life. Explain what double down meant for you at that defining moment.
It just let me know, like, hold on. Like, why I ain't riding with no pistol? Why I ain't looking in my rearview? Like, how the fuck did they follow me from the crib and all that? Like, hold on. Let me start taking this shit a little bit more serious.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't just no motherfucker that's out here working and going to school. I'm really out here.
Yeah.
So that's what made me double down on it. And it was one thing my principal told me, because initially when it happened, when I got in the car and I looked in the back seat, it was an Explorer, and in the trunk there was a blanket and it was people moving. And I thought that maybe they'd already had some other kids kidnapped. So I told my principal, I said, man, it looked like they already had some people kidnapped. My principal pulled me to the side from beside the detectives, and she said, I don't know what you into, but this is somebody that knows you and knows what you got going on. And it stuck with me. And to this day, I'm like, damn, that principal was right.
Yeah. Yeah. What level of, at this age, you 16, you finna graduate early. What level of drug dealing are you at? And then we'll answer that first. What level are you at? Like, how much are you moving?
I'm moving pretty solid. My uncle had just came home from the feds, that came home to a nice plug. And you got to think, I can leave school and go over his house and walk into an apartment full of whatever I wanted access to. And I'm talking weight. I ain't never dealt with junkies and low-level people. You know what I'm saying? Except for when I was dealing dime bags and stuff like that. So I pretty much got access to whatever, you know, I wanted to do.
Yeah. So you up there.
You up there.
Yeah,
So-
I'm exposed.
Yeah.
And so now you full in, you in the streets, you getting money. This culminates to you running in with the law, right? At 19 years old, you catch your first case.
18.
18.
So what's crazy is 18, I leave my uncle's house that I was just telling you about.
Yeah.
He ended up getting smoked. He's not here no more, so I feel comfortable talking about it. They can't come get him. He already dead. But I leave his house with a pound of weed, and I get pulled over, and I catch a bullshit misdemeanor for a pound of weed. I get probation, 18 years old, and, you know, typical 18-year-old, I call myself a dummy. I violated smoking weed. Went into the violation court hearing and thinking I was going to go get some programs and stuff like that. They said, nah, you going to prison.
Straight like that.
Straight from the courtroom, you going to prison, 19 years old.
Wow.
I said, oh, shit.
Yeah. That's the double down moment right there. Like, God damn.
And so 19, you go to the state. How much time did they give you?
9 months.
Okay, 9 months. Okay. And so now you're in the state, walking the park, like no big deal. How you feeling at that moment?
So at that moment when I walk in, it was like a fucking family reunion. So initially it's like the first day of school, like you nervous, right? You going, even when I went to CRC, which is the receiving center, I ended up running into one of my homeboys that had just went down for a murder. He had got sentenced to 23 years. So when I went to CRC, it was a blessing to see him. He about to come home now too. That's doing 23 years. But when I end up going to the actual compound, I ain't gonna lie, I was spooked. That's like, oh, this is gladiator. This they call this gladiator school. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's motherfuckers getting stabbed, fighting, all that type of shit, right? But when I got to the compound, I ended up knowing everybody. You know, my city was real heavy, so it was like a class reunion from people I went to elementary school with.
Yeah.
Well, goddamn, this where you been at the whole time?
Yeah. So you comfortable. You get comfortable, yeah.
Yeah, I was a little comfortable, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And then,
yeah.
you know, I met people that had short time, and I like, bro, when I get out, shit, I need to get that package.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much what it was. So, you know, they say that state prison is about muscle, and then federal prison is about the mind.
Okay. And so you get out of state. Is that your last run-in with the law?
That last learning with the state, yeah.
Okay. And then what happens when you come home? Are you?
I'm hustling. I'm like, you know what? I got stripes. I done went and did a bid. I done survived gladiator school. I got motherfuckers fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm hustling. I'm living life. I got I'm at my peak. I'm at my peak in the streets. You know what I'm saying? So you know, eventually it catches up with me, and wrong place, wrong time, and here we go. The feds come.
How old when you go to the feds?
25.
Now walk me through right before you get knocked by the feds. Like, what's happening?
What up? It's your man Jay White, first name, last name. I'm happy you're here. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. I want to welcome you to join the Crack the Code community, where I wrap my arms around you and teach you all the ins and outs of federal government contracting, the middleman or middlewoman way. In my community on a weekly basis, you're going to get a Wednesday night call with me. You're going to get many courses and also training material. It's nothing like being in a community where everybody is joining hands, trying to learn the same process and get to this federal government contracting money. I'm gonna see you on the other side. Click that link right now.
Set the scene up for me when they come.
Literally, I'm going to serve my homeboy up, and they was on his spot, and they catch me leaving his spot, and they charge me with everything that was in his spot, conspiracy to distribute. So I was a low-key nigga. I rode around in minivans, pickup trucks. I ain't never take pictures. I ain't never been on the internet.
Yeah.
None of that, right? So literally, that's why I tell people you could be moving as low-key as you want to move, but every day it's all about you getting lucky in the streets.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that day, my luck caught up with me.
Yeah. So now they charge you with everything in your man's crib.
Yeah.
And did you have anything in your van?
Nah, no.
So just everything in his crib.
Yeah.
And what did you get sentenced to?
I got sentenced to 60 months.
Yeah, man. I think at that time when you what is your mental like when they say 60 months?
To be honest with you, the biggest depression and anxiety from going through that situation is not knowing what they was going to give you.
Because how old were you?
25.
And then to get 5 years. And
Yeah.
You facing. Go ahead, my brother. Go ahead.
Yeah. 25. So the relief was getting sentenced. Because now I know what I'm looking at. Now I know what I need to do. Now I know what's going on moving forward.
Okay.
But the thought of not knowing will drive you crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. What year is this when you got sentenced?
2014, 2015-ish?
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
What was the main difference, right, between the time you did in the state and the Fed? Like, what's the difference between state and Fed?
The difference between state and Fed is, I went to a low. Some people would call it a camp, but it was really a low. The difference is in the state, everybody is all rah-rah. It's all about, who know how to fight, the muscle.
Yeah.
In the feds, it's all about who is the smartest businessman.
Okay.
So I'm in there with people that's in there for didn't know how to pay their taxes or, wire fraud, big time drug kingpins. Very seldom you come across somebody that did robbery or assaults or stuff like that. Yeah. So it's all business minded individuals that have a future and that lived a good life before they got in there.
Yeah.
So those were the people I cling to. All my street guys in the feds, they would laugh at me, but they would applaud me for hanging out and clinging to the business minded individuals on the compound.
You know what's crazy? When you were young, you hung with the OGs. When you said you was 12 at the car wash, and I asked you about the childhood and the youngins, you're like, nah, I gravitated towards the OGs. So it's a natural progression now that you're in the feds to be around the older, more wiser businessmen that maybe have done business that you haven't done at that moment to soak up that knowledge. That seemed like that's kind of been your makeup for real.
100%. It's just is this who I'm always clinging to somebody who I feel like is doing better than me or can put me in a better position.
Yeah, put you on.
And so now you're in the feds. What's your mentality like? Are you like, all right, I'm gonna do this time, I'm gonna come home, I'm gonna be the man again, or are you, thinking about a different route?
So before I went in, I got the stigma that everybody got. Everybody think when you go to the feds, you're gonna meet a crazy plug.
Right.
I'm gonna go in here, I'm gonna meet a plug. He gonna come home, he gonna hit me with the big meat shit.
Yeah.
Right? So before I went in, I'm like, all right, I'm vetting out a plug. Shh, that shit turned out different. I went in, I had my first newborn baby while I was behind walls. I bought my first project from the land bank for $5,000 before I went in.
Wow.
I left my brother, I left my wife with the little bit of money I did have, and I said, I need y'all to execute this project while I'm gone. And I turned the visitor room into a project management room to where my brother came and seen me every chance he got. I didn't talk about the project on the wall phone. I only talked about it in the visitor room. So with the project going on and with me having my actual real son, it changed my whole way of thinking.
Yeah.
And then I also I hit the compound, and they got something called cars in the feds, which means in the states it's all about what city you from. In the feds it's all about what state you from. So your states, y'all ride together, and somebody in the Ohio car, they blessed me with a care package as soon as I hit the compound, shoes, clothes, commissary, all that. But they also blessed me with a book, and that book was called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. So that book right there fucked my head up. It fucked my head up in a good way. So between the baby, between the project I had, between my wife, and between that book, my whole mindset shifted to where I said, fuck a plug.
And talk about that deal, right? Because you managed to flip a real estate deal from a visiting room. Like, break that down. Like, how'd you pull that off?
So I got exposed to the land bank before I went in. And I would actually call him my first mentor, right? While I was going through my case, I spent almost every day with him, just kind of what they call an internship. I would come with him, and I see him. He was a real estate investor, ex-street guy, and he rode around to his job site all day, back and forth to Lowe's. I said, damn, so you can actually ride around and get it, but you ain't riding around serving people. You serving contractors, and you going to Lowe's and stuff. And you got a Benz at home. You got a big house. You can go to the club. You can live the same life the street guys live. So he introduced me to the land bank, and I was able to spend my last little bit of money I had to buy my first property for $5,000. And then the other little bit of cash I had, I left it with my family, and I come from a family full of real estate, construction workers. My 3 uncles were construction workers. My grandpa was a custom home builder. My 9 aunties was custom home designers. So I was able to manage that with him coming to see me and him putting in, implementing my family members and everybody putting sweat equity in the deal, and they was able to renovate that home and turn around and sell it while I was still in for $120,000.
Wow.
And we probably was only about $40,000 in it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So how's that making you feel when the deal got closed and it's sold while you behind bars too? Renovated and sold while you behind bars. How's that making you feel, bro? Like how's your energy when that deal get closed like that?
I'm amped up. I'm on a compound. I'm like, but I don't want to tell nobody nothing.
Of course not.
Because you know I'm in the feds. I'm like, I watch how I move.
Right,
You know what
right.
I'm saying? Because they don't give a fuck about that on the compound.
Yeah.
So I tell my bro, I said, well, shit, we need to find another property.
Yeah.
Let's reinvest it.
Yeah.
Let's keep it going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just amped up. And I'm talking to people on the pound that was doing real estate, that was exposed to creative financing, hard money loans. I started reading more real estate books. I got certificates from going to contractor classes and real estate classes, and I took the RDAP program and all types. So I was constantly programming on the compound, trying to rehabilitate myself and change myself.
Yeah.
So that win right there, I kept it to myself, and I said, well, let's keep it going because I know what I'm gonna do when I come home.
So you already got a plan.
100%.
Man.
Boom, the plan is there. So what year you came home?
2019.
2019, pandemic about to hit though.
Yeah, right. Yeah, early
Yeah,
2019.
the pandemic about to hit though. So
Ain't nobody
Yeah,
know that.
ain't nobody know that.
We're talking about fan shit. Like we playing for that.
Ain't nobody know that but them two. I knew it. I knew in 2017 it was gonna be a pandemic because of my federal government contracts. But this ain't about me.
Word.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
a fact.
crazy.
That's a fact. In 2017,
you
I
had
knew it
the
was a
heads
pandemic.
up.
Yeah, for sure. Because what the government was asking me for, it was asking me for millions of gloves in 2017. I put the proposal in. They didn't say nothing. In 2018, they asked me for the same amount of gloves, 18.2 million gloves.
Word.
I'm like, all right, cool. 2019,
Yo, what in the conspiracy?
they start asking me for masks. Next thing, in 2019, if you look, in the beginning of 2019, overseas, that's when we started to hear about it. It wasn't
Right.
over here yet.
Right.
In the middle,
The government was getting ready.
already preparing for us over here.
Word.
In 2017, though. So I knew. But anyway, this ain't about me, though.
Word.
We can talk about that offline for sure.
Definitely want to talk about
Facts
that.
though. Cause look, what else they know about me? We
I got
need to know.
the contract to prove.
No,
like,
but I'm saying
there.
it's 2025 right
Yeah.
now. What else? Like what they ordering right now that we don't know about, B?
Right. That's the experience of being in the business with the federal government, because you'll get a timetable on things that's happening that hasn't happened, that's about to happen.
Word, I
hasn't
need to
happened
know
yet.
that, though,
You get
B.
the timetable. Yeah.
Yo,
sure.
thefedcode.com, be locked in.
But no. So 2019, you don't know it's a pandemic coming. So how you moving? Like, how you executing
I'm
this
moving. I
plan?
come home, I get 2 hard money loans. I said, shit.
Yeah.
Y'all motherfuckers about to give me $500,000 to build 2 houses. I'm still on federal probation in the halfway house.
Yeah. Which is,
So I'm amped. I'm like, I want to go full throttle because I'm all in. Because where I come from, listen here, we come from where we put our whole re-up in.
yeah,
We
for
don't
sure.
we don't want nothing sitting around. We want all drugs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
when I get into real estate, I'm like, I want all projects.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the individual because our platform is for individuals that's still behind the wall and that's about to come home, right? So individuals that really don't know what hard money loan is and how to obtain one, just go into that real quick.
So basically, it's called asset-based lending. It means they lend to the asset and not the individual. That means that they don't care about your felony. They don't care if you robbed, if you killed, if you stole. All they care about is that you got a project, a real estate project, and it's projected to make a certain amount of money, and you have the contractors to execute the bill so that we can put it back on the market and make money. They're going to give you the full amount of construction funds that you need. No tax returns needed. You can have shitty credit. Nothing. It's all about the real estate project. Is it going to make money?
And it's called hard money because of the return, the percentages back off the money, or why they calling it that?
I don't know why they call it hard money. The
Yeah.
new term should be private money.
Yeah, it should be.
Cause hard money got a bad stigma on it from like shark lenders and
Yeah.
shit like that
That's
from
right.
back in the day, right?
Yeah.
So that I want to restructure it and call it private money.
Yeah.
Because all it is an entity that went and gathered a bunch of people that have money that want to lend money to a company to make more than what the banks or the stocks or the insurance policies are going to give them.
Pay out.
They looking for a 10 to 12% return on their money.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you get
But
two.
it's because it's protected by hard assets. So that's why.
All right, cool. You just chat GBT'd it?
Real quick. type shit. Look, I was gonna act like I knew that.
That's right. He asked Cash the journalist, baby. You know what I'm saying? No, bro, I appreciate that for sure because I didn't know neither.
Yeah.
But I like private anyway.
Yeah.
But you get two of those private loans, right? And tell me what happened. Like what shakes out?
So people coming to my projects, right? And they like, man, who designed this joint? And I'm like, me. So then they ask me again and say, nah, but who designed it? I said, me, I just look like this. So like nobody could believe that I was designing these properties to the point to where it was like crazy, modern, luxury. I mean, the flips I was doing, I was breaking comps in the neighborhoods because of my designs, right? So after they believe me, then they'll ask me, they'll say, well, are you an architect? And I say, I'm not. And that kept sticking with me. So I said, I need to dive deep into what an architect is and what they do because me, I'm a visionary. I could go in a property and say, I want to tear out this wall. I want to put this light fixture here and put this here. But I don't know nothing about the software. So I started diving deep into softwares, CAD systems, SketchUps. Got with a few other architects to teach me about, softwares and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So then I started getting into designing floor plans for other investors. And it led me to producing blueprints for other builders, other investors. It led to me opening up doors around people that was in new development. And eventually it graduated me into the new development space to where I was like, man, fuck these flips.
Yeah. So you developed your own AE company, or no?
No, so I got into building new construction homes and not flipping.
Got you. And what's that transition like though? Like how? Like I know you said it opened doors for you to get into the new construction, but it just let you in. Like they just like you just started to provide the money to the developers to become your own developer.
So I utilized my experience in renovating homes. I was on my last renovation that I called my last renovation, and I went in contract to sell that one. And when I went in contract to sell that one, I put a piece of land in contract contingent upon my flip selling.
Okay.
And they accepted my offer. And from that point on, I said, I'm going to be strictly focused on new construction. And my hard money lender approved me based upon my renovation experience.
And so not all, but sometimes success comes with tragedy, right? You up. Now you building. You lost over $1 million. What happened and why didn't that make you be like, yo, I'm done with this, I quit?
So what happened was on the first new construction, I told you I'm more excited about designing, right? I never really had a big passion for construction management. So I said on my first new construction, I'm going to hire a general contractor so that I could just focus on designing and focus on structuring other deals. I hired a general contractor. My first new construction project was something that most people wouldn't do. 5,000 square foot, multi-million-dollar mansion, super modern luxury. I mean, I spent 8 months just on the plans, right? Going back and forth on the plans, on the design. So we had I want to say the budget was about $800,000. My hard money loan was about $650,000. I hired a general contractor, and I hired one of the worst general contractors that you could. And he ended up getting over on me for a little over 300,000. And then also when you calculate the profits, because I go into that deal, I'm projected to make 300,000 to 500,000 off of that first new construction deal. But what happened is what kept me going was where I come from. I already took the biggest risk you could take.
Facts.
I used to risk my life, my freedom for money.
Yeah.
So you telling me now I lost a little bit of money, but I can go get another project and keep going? I can learn from this experience. I'm not about to lose my life.
Yeah.
So that's what kept me going. You know what I'm saying? I lost 6 months with him, so I was able to save the project, lose money, bring in other investors, start other new projects, and leave those projects alone and just take my losses and keep it moving.
Yeah.
One of them I'm just now about to end up selling. But it's just a mentality to where when you come from where I come from, and when you get into corporate America, I'm thinking this shit gonna be easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I escaped the streets, so I didn't know that people in corporate America was bigger crooks than niggas
Right.
in
Bigger
the streets.
gangsters. Yeah.
Yo, I seen you at we was at an event together in Tennessee, right? Nashville.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nashville. I had a cowboy hat on and everything. I was just feeling the vibes. Yo, I put a cowboy hat. Anyway, man, I didn't get an opportunity to see you on the stage. What's some of the things that you spoke about on stage, and what's your message when you are on some of these stages?
My message is one, I like to motivate people that come from where I come from. I got a passion because I understand that people that develop the strategies that come from hustling in the streets, and when you transition it into corporate America, we are probably some of the most intelligent people. Somebody exposed me that, you know how to learn, shipping and handling, buying that bulk, breaking it down, selling it. All the different strategies you learn in the streets, it goes on in corporate America. And when you transfer the product to a legitimate product, you're going to win, right? In the mindset, you got to think in the streets, you're selling the product that you can't market publicly.
That's right.
So when I'm speaking on these platforms, I'm speaking to motivate people that come from the streets, but I'm also speaking to motivate our community, from people that are working 9 to 5s, from people that are fathers. I'm a husband, I'm a father. I have an 18-year-old and a 9-year-old. I'm speaking to let people know that failure is going to be your quickest way to success. The sooner you fail, the sooner you can succeed. And the sooner that you understand that failure is a win, you're going to succeed. So it's everything that I've been through, my story, that I'm hoping that will motivate people to actually start and not keep making up excuses trying to come up with the perfect plan.
You know the fact that you're talking about a construction company, started from fix and flipping and then new development. Obviously, I haven't asked any other questions about your real estate company and construction company, but a lot of times we do our episodes. Most people aren't talking about they develop a construction company. They'll say, "Oh, I just invest. I just invest, and I'm there." I think the tangible from your message is the people that are visionaries, the people that can imagine this shouldn't be oval, this should be square, or this shouldn't be over this position, this should be over there, is almost like your talent and your love for design is not easy money, but it's money in your hand, man. Talk to the audience about the God-given talents that most people possess, how they can translate that into the construction field.
Yeah, so a lot of times I never knew that my natural talent was design.
Yeah.
But coming from the streets, I was always fly. Always liked the nice cars. Always liked the nice females. Always was shopping every day, and I would renovate rental homes. All my spots, my trap houses, was top shelf luxury.
Yeah.
Because I got top shelf niggas coming to see me. You know what I'm saying? I had pool tables. I would go in there and paint the walls, change the light fixtures, everything. Just because I knew I was going to be there, right? So fast forward to where I discovered my talents from actually investing into myself. So to answer your question and talk to the people, that once you start doing something, the people around you are going to recognize your talents, and you have to be able to understand and to realize what your actual talents is. And then you have to double down on it. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to realize that, okay, this is something I'm good at.
Yeah.
I'm good at teaching.
Yeah.
From the streets, I will put young boys on. I'm always in the spot telling people, as soon as I get information, I'm always sharing it.
Yeah.
I get information, I share it. Man, I just learned this. This is how you do this. This is how you put a 3 on and break this down and cut this and do that. So I was always a person that was sharing, trying to elevate the next person that's around me. I always say, if you're around me, you're going to figure out a way to get some money. If not, you ain't going to be around me for too long. You know what I'm saying? So not only did I discover my talents for design in the construction field, I also discovered my talents from being online for teaching people.
Talk right now. Talk to the, the brother, the sister just coming home, or even just the hustlers out there, right? Somebody that's still hustling, still in the game. What's the mindset shift that they have to have in order to, start going the legit way and start really, making a real life for themselves?
People, places, and things is going to be your number one thing, y'all. You have to change up the places you go, the people you hang around, and the things that you like. So for me, when I came home, it was no longer clubs. It was no longer, womanizing, chasing women. I proposed to my wife in the visiting room. I have a picture. We're probably going to show it on there. Is no longer, when I was in the streets and I got bored, I would go hang around my partner's trap house, or I ride with him while he, hit stings, or we'd be plotting on somebody, or whatever it may be. When I came home, now if I get bored, I'm spending time with my family, or I'm going to my man's construction site, or I'm going to a mastermind. You know what I'm saying? So the biggest thing is realizing that life is going to get boring, because what you thought was fun, you can't live anymore. And then eventually the boring life will become fun.
Yeah. What for those who may not know, what is a mastermind and how has that changed your life?
Mastermind has changed my life crazy. So coming from the streets, this is something that us hustlers, everybody, we gotta break this. We gotta break this. And I say it with passion. I say it with a lot of passion, because when you're in the streets and you hustling and you can have any woman you want, you live a rich lifestyle, because you get up whenever you want to and you do whatever you want to do. And when you walk into a room, you are the biggest boss that they seen this far, right? You live the American gangster lifestyle. So for you to actually pay somebody to be a part of their life, to learn from them, the street mentality is like, that makes me less than a man. So when I came home and I was hearing about people paying people to be in the room and paying people to have a friendship with them and to learn from them, it was like, nigga, who the fuck is you? I ain't about to pay you to be around you, nigga.
Yeah.
Like, nigga, I'm not nigga. Nigga, you need to come speak to me first.
Yeah.
Nigga, you know what I do to you? But that's the dumbest shit ever. It's literally, a lot of the street codes is some of the dumbest shit ever. And the more we live by those old street codes, the more we're going to lose, and we're going to be behind, and we're going to miss out on the information and the opportunities. So what I started to realize was people, I had a sense of success, but I had a sense of failure too. And I wasn't right up here. I wasn't right up here. And what I started to realize was a lot of people that was successful, they were part of mentorships. They were part of masterminds where they'll go get together, and the same way we get together in the spot and we talk about how we gonna sell this shit and the bitches that's gonna come over and the jewelry we gonna get and the sections we gonna get and who getting more money than who. They talking about it at the masterminds, but it's in a different level, a multi-million-dollar level, a high vibrational level, a level that doesn't consist of you risking your life. You know what I'm saying? But you got to pay to get in that room. And when you're in the streets, you don't want to pay nobody to be a part of them.
Of course not.
Because you demand your respect when you walk in the room. But you have to take the ego down. There's no prize in your pride. And street guys got a lot of pride. Because they stuck on the money they used to get, or they stuck on the fact that they used to put in work back in the day.
Well, what's your mission now?
My mission now is to help as many guys from the streets transition, to be the best version of myself, to continue to invest in myself, to continue to impact and growth, to build communities. We're 4.5 million housing units short in America, and there's no way to create a solution to that problem unless we build more houses.
The name of your company is what?
3D Visions.
3D Visions.
Where did that name come from?
3D came from one of my uncles that I always looked up to as a young kid. He did 10 years in federal prison, and I went to go see him his whole federal prison bid while I was 6, 7, 8 years old, and that was his prison name. And he had a passion for real estate, and while I was in federal prison, he was murdered, and I wasn't able to come home to his funeral. And when I came home, I was into real estate, and I started real estate. And so when I got into architectural designs, I decided to put the 3D stamp on it. So 3D is from my uncle that was murdered, that would be very proud of me, because he always wanted to escape the streets, but he never had a chance to. And then the Visions is from me being a visionary.
He asked you about your mission, and then we just asked you where'd your name come from your business. What do you want as a collective people to take away from this conversation that we're having on Crime Pays?
From a collective, I want people to take away that your past doesn't determine your future. Your past doesn't determine your future, and you always have a chance to reinvent yourself, and nothing happens to you, it happens for you.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. For sure.
All right, brother. So the real estate re-up, talk a little bit about the book. And we definitely gonna put a link to the bottom. But talk a little bit about the book that you got.
So a little bit about the book is it's kind of like a biography, but it's more so a self-help motivational book. We're gonna talk about some crazy things that happen in the streets, some crazy things that happen in my childhood. From being on my own at 8 years old, my mom, addicted to crack. I'm addicted to the money, no dad. And then transitioning from the car wash to school, to real estate, to prison, the whole entire nine. It's a dope story. We're probably going to turn it into a movie, turn it into a series. Might be looking at Tyler Perry, 50 Cent. We never know who's going to pick it up. But man, it's a story that needs to be told, and it's a story that needs to be told to impact people, to motivate people, to let them know that, man, listen here, it's always a future.
Yeah, and what I like about the book specifically is that it's also a blueprint. Because you said something earlier that those who have that background, that street mentality, are usually the best, and I believe that 1,000%. They're usually the best businessmen. They're businessmen and women. Like they're usually they could take those skills and be successful on the right side. And you kind of paint a picture about, how you were able to do that and actually give a blueprint on how others could do it, as well as kind of give them a guide, because you do have your own mentorship. I've seen your mentorship is growing. You're bringing a lot of the brothers and sisters who normally wouldn't join a mentorship, but they can relate to you because your story's real. So make sure y'all pick up the Real Estate Re-Up. My publishing company did publish it, so One Brick Publishing. Yeah, man, I'm excited, brother. I'm excited, man. This was a great conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm more excited because your story is gonna help so many people, and a lot of times we look at people who come from their past, and you'd be like, man, you could kind of feel sorry for what they went through or whatever the case may be. But ultimately, I believe all things work for your greater good. And I could see some great things happening in your life, and I'm excited to really just witness the greatness that God has planned for you, brother. So
100%, man.
Yeah.
So, man, I'm big on gratitude, and man, I've been featured on some big platforms. This is probably one of the biggest ones I've been featured on, next to Nightcap with Shannon Sharp. And one thing I like to do is show a little bit of gratitude. So I brought something a little light for y'all today. A nice little gift. You want to get that gift for me?
let's go.
I appreciate that.
Appreciate you, bro.
No, for sure.
Look, thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, one thing I say about when you say street guys can be the best in corporate America, another thing they can be the best in, that's for him right there. I know you don't drink.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Look, all right, good. Because I'm about to say,
I do.
Look, for the Akis out there, the Oxford.
Yeah.
Hell, hold on. Listen. Your boy drink.
Yeah.
So I appreciate this, my guy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, most definitely.
I
And
appreciate you.
that's Kevin Hart shit. That's gluten free.
Yeah.
I bought him a book, and
Dope.
one of those books in there is for the Crime Pay podcast.
Okay, dope.
So you got one is about black writers.
Yep.
That's for you. The
Yep.
other one is a little bit of motivation that we can give to the young hustlers.
Yeah, my brother Hill Harper. Salute to my brother. Salute to my brother. And salute the chat. I like him too.
Have you read that, Joe?
No, I haven't read it. No, I follow him on Instagram. So this is dope. And so, matter of fact, this is actually good because he was in Hollywood, and so he talks about how to sell, stuff too. I follow him. This is dope.
Yeah,
Okay.
Salute to Kevin Hart, man. You know
Appreciate you, man.
Do my review.
Thank you, brother.
Do my review. I appreciate you, my boy.
Yes, sir.
Most definitely.
Yes,
For
sir.
sure. This love.
Man, love. All right, so if the people wanna follow you, where can they find you?
Man, just look me up on Instagram at 3dvisions_. Shoot me a comment, DM, man. I'm active, man. I'm him. I'm a real person. I'm connecting with everybody.
He active. Look, I ain't see the viral moment, but the moment I did see, he walking around the garage, right? Is whatever expensive car you can think of, he walking past him. He like, look, man, this is how we do it. He walked out the garage, and when he walked out the garage with the expensive cars, he walks to another area. You gotta go look. You gotta go follow him to look at what I'm talking about. But he definitely active for sure.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Listen, another powerful episode of Crime Pays, the #1 podcast. No, forget that. Not podcast. The #1 platform for formerly incarcerated men and women and their families. Look, y'all need to be joining Crime Pays Academy as well. We're going to have Mikey pop in, give y'all some words of wisdom as well. Make sure y'all follow us on all social media platforms. I am Ash Cash, the financial motivator.
I'm Jay White, first name, last name.
Look, we're going to see y'all next time. Same place, in God's will. Peace.